Hi, my name is Jessica, and here's my story. Uh, as you can tell, I haven't showered or anything yet, because I figured it would be more emotional if I looked like I normally do, without showering or anything for the day. So, my story starts when I was 6, which was in 2005. That year is the year that my parents got divorced. That is also the year that my life completely changed. I lost my grandpa, who I had become very close to, being that he had only lived behind us for a short while. Um, I know, young kid going through divorce, it's not really that bad. Um, Fast forward a couple months after the divorce finished, my mom met a guy named Kevin, who is now my stepdad. Yes, I do like him, and him and I have our differences. Um, in 2006, they got married. At first I wasn't very accepting. My dad had ended up moving on and getting a, a girlfriend. Sorry, blanked there for a second. My dad had ended up getting a girlfriend, and in 2007 he passed away. That was the first time I had ever lost someone, a parent. My mom had like full custody of me, but my dad had visitation rights up until he passed away. He passed away of a heart attack on November 11th, 2007. That was very hard on me because I was always a daddy's girl when I was younger. But my dad was very abusive towards my mother and my half brothers, who are just my brothers. Um, Fast forward a couple years to 2009. That is when I lost my grandpa Bake, who was my mom's stepdad. I was quite close with him. That one was really, really hard on me. Um, but it kind of brought our family closer together for once. I didn't get to go to his funeral, sadly, because his funeral was right before school started that year. Like, he died, the first day of school, if I remember right, that year, or something. I think he died, a day before, he died the day of his birthday. He basically just stopped breathing in his sleep. Uh, that year is the year that my nephew Ezekiel was born as well. Um, Sorry if I start crying. This one's the hardest one. 2009, my nephew Ezekiel was born in January. He was my middle brother's son. Uh, at this point, I had two nephews. My nephew David, and now Ezekiel, as of January of 2009. He was only a few days old when his mother and him were asleep in my room, and she rolled on top of him in her sleep, therefore suffocating him. Um, this one was really hard on me because they were living in our home, and sorry, uh, and I was helping take care of him, as the place that his mother and him were living before they had moved in with us was not fit for children. It was very disgusting, as my mom told me. I didn't go with her to get them, but we took them in, being that that's family. Um, so yeah, after he died, I kind of, I guess, fell into a depression, and that's where my depression starts. Um, yeah, fast forward to, God, it was 8th grade, so 2012, uh, December. of 2012. Just a few months before that, one of the people in our family had committed suicide, and his daughter had found him. Uh, that was my cousin, if I remember right. I don't remember what I exactly called him. Him and his wife were split up at that time, and his daughter, who is my age, found him. He had hung himself. Um, in December of 2012, my uncle, who I was very, very close to, committed suicide. Um, this was very hard on us. I was very close to this uncle. Um, yes, he was an alcoholic, and he did have his days where he would black out. He also had some other issues, but he had moved back to Utah after living with us for a while and going in and out of a few shelters. He was living with his kids in an apartment, and I don't know why he decided to do this exactly. Um, but he committed suicide by shooting himself. Um, sorry, this one's really hard on me, but yeah, he shot himself, and his children found him. They had to have their uncle kick down the door. Um, from their mother's side. Fast forward to like just a few days before Christmas, and I lost my great grandma. Oh God. I lost my great grandma. I skipped over 1 year because I don't want to talk about that year until I do a different video. But I lost my great grandma as well that year, and so we didn't really celebrate Christmas because we lost my uncle, and then we lost my great grandma, who was basically just grandma to me because I was so close with her, well, growing up and everything. And that one hit me really hard, losing her and everything. Um, yeah, she basically passed away of old age. She was 93, so she lived a very long life. Um, and my grandpa, Sprat, this was my great grandma's husband. He passed away shortly after I was born. He did get to hold me in the hospital, but we have never been able to find the pictures of him holding me. They just kind of disappeared. I'm going to backtrack a little to 7th grade. This is the topic I was talking about where I skipped the year, and I decided I'm just going to talk about it now. In 7th grade, I found a boy that I had basically fallen in love with. Being my age, being the age I was, which was 13, I didn't exactly know what love meant. Now I do. Um, I ended up dating him, and on October 31st of that year, 2012, we were out trick-or-treating. I went trick-or-treating with him that year. Just me and him, no one else. I didn't know um, that this was going to happen, as you never do. But I was raped. He forced me into a park and raped me. I obviously acted like nothing was happening, like nothing happened after we went back home to my house and we took him home. This is when my depression got worse at this point. And um, freshman year, I was sexually harassed, and I was afraid he was going to take it to the step of rape, so I reported it to the school because it happened at school. Sorry for skipping around so much, but this is just how it's coming out. Uh, yeah, that's my story. That's as far as I can go. There's so much more that happens, but can't remember it all. There are some things I've chosen to block out, and there are some things that I just end up remembering even though I don't. The rape is one thing I try and block out every single night because I remember his words to me and I don't want to repeat them, and I will never be able to hear those words come from anyone without wanting to cry. So yeah, my name is Jessica, I'm 16, and this was my story.